Sensei Mattson, how did you start Uechi?
How did I start? Back in 1956, I found myself in the Army on Okinawa and was constantly getting into trouble while I was in the Army. I tended to enjoy the nightlife a little more than probably I should have, especially being only 18 years old. Anyways, after a couple of months of that and not performing very well in the Army, I had the good fortune to meet someone who happened to have been studying karate with Master Tomiyoshi. And this gentleman felt that I would get a lot of benefit through studying with Master Tomiyoshi, and invited me to attend a class, which I did. It wasn't much of a class. It was held in Master Tomiyoshi's living room. And after the demonstration and short, brief class that was conducted that evening, I was hooked. I really felt that this was something that was very important for me, and was just like I recognized something that was missing in my life that this would fulfill, that this would fill. And from that point on, I began to train every night for 4 hours a night. Then I would go back to the barracks and I would practice. And Mr. Tomiyoshi had a day job, and every evening when he came home, I would be on the front step waiting for him to come in. And he would barely have time to eat, and we'd move the dining room table, which was a very low table, we'd move it away, move the furniture out of that room, and we'd begin practicing. So I was sort of obsessed with karate after meeting Master Tomiyoshi and seeing Sanshin and seeing the beauty of the forms, and to see something that there was an inner power there that I recognized. And I recognized, because I was lacking the confidence myself, I recognized that in that art form was something that I was going to derive a tremendous amount of good by doing. And so I applied myself most diligently, and true to form, I found that the karate, as I was improving in my karate, I was improving in my other life as well, my Army life. I was beginning to adjust to Army life a lot better, and to the discipline of the Army life. And it just was kind of a gradual, natural thing. It wasn't something that I consciously did. As my karate improved, the rest of my life improved. I eventually went on to a fairly distinguished Army career based on the fact that I had studied karate. So that's how I got started.
How many students did Mr. Tomiyoshi have?
At that time, I have to say I was his only real student. There were a number of people that would come and go, and very few of them stayed more than a couple of lessons. I was like a recruiter for Mr. Tomiyoshi. I would always bring new people down to his dojo, hoping that they would study, but they didn't have the same needs that I had at that stage in my life, and they were still more interested in enjoying the nightlife and the many other attractions of Okinawa that I had already experienced, and I was ready to make a change. I was ready to make a commitment. Most of the people that I brought down there were not. The dojo itself was kind of an experiment. Master Uechi had asked Mr. Tomiyoshi to see if, because he spoke English, if he could in fact develop a dojo consisting of Americans. At that time, a number of Americans would find their way to Master Uechi's dojo, and Master Uechi had no way of dealing with these foreigners. Most of them came to his dojo looking to further their fighting goals, and not to actually study the art of Uechi. So Master Uechi would have them pound makiwaras or just simply do conditioning exercises, and very soon these people would find that kind of training was more than they had anticipated, and they really didn't get what they thought karate was all about, so they had left. Now, Master Uechi recognized that the Americans were getting the wrong impression of Uechi Ryu, and that they were coming looking for fighting, and that they were leaving feeling that Uechi was not really a fighting art at all, but it was more or less a way of just punching boards and trees and just kicking and punishing your own body. And that wasn't what they were looking for. They were looking for a quick fix, as it were. And obviously Uechi wasn't the art form or discipline to accomplish this. Master Tomiyoshi, being well versed in philosophy, the arts of calligraphy, he had studied Uechi Ryu for many years, and had also studied under Chojin Miyagi's and Goju. He had a command of the overall Uechi Ryu in its totality, rather than just the fighting aspect of it, or the pounding of the makawara, or fighting. So Master Uechi had asked Mr. Tomiyoshi to experiment, try to find some Americans who were dedicated, and see if he could impart the true spirit of Uechi to these people. And as it turned out, I was his experiment, although he tried valiantly to bring other Americans into the dojo. They just didn't last. And when I left, he closed his small dojo, and he perhaps just out of frustration felt that the experiment was not very successful. Fortunately, I did take the charge that they gave me when I left to further Uechi in North America, and to write a book to get as much publicity as possible, to try and introduce the real Uechi Ryu to the Western world. And I did that. I did try and have continued to try in the last 35 years.